Yes. First win streak of 2022. Let's go. Such a fun game. Such a fun game. Really curious everybody's opinion on the poll I just posted on who everybody would give first star. That was, it was such a good game. Um, Interesting game. 38 seconds in, you give up the goal, and you can't help but think, oh, here we go again. But no, not today. Not today. Um, it's the Kraken are playing really well. They're playing the kind of hockey I think we all thought we'd see from them. Grubauer, I mean, goalie's superstitious. I'm going to be superstitious about it. I'm not going to say anything too big, but I think we've all seen what Grubauer's been able to put together the last couple games. That's been awesome. Um, it was just a really really good game, reminiscent of some of their earlier games too, right? Like struggle out of the gate a little bit, come out in the second and just dominate. Um, Kraken, remember all those games where it was like the second period was the Kraken's period. They'd outshoot their opponents like 2-3 to 1 sometimes even. They'd get all their goal scoring in, and then find a way to muck it up late in the game. Thought we might be heading towards that on this one. I'll tell you what. But no, they held on. Grubauer with a great performance. The team stepped up when they needed to late in the game. Make sure that they pulled out the win. Second win in a row. I mean, it's awesome. They're playing really good hockey now, and it's really good to see. The offense looks great. Boy Cali with the win, the game winner. Merch as always. Link in the description below. Michael, second period was incredible. Great offensive push from all lines. Yeah, it was. They owned that second period. Obviously, you get the 2 goals from Susie. Just phenomenal. You have the one that's waved off for Donato. What I liked about both Susie goals was the Kraken got pressure in front of Hill. Hill couldn't see what was going on. We've been saying that for a long time now, right, everybody? You got to screen the goalie. Goalie can't see the puck. How's he supposed to stop it? End of story, right? So you get those couple goals. I loved the Donato goal that was waved off. I know it was waved off, and it was correctly waved off. I'm not sure why Appleton decided to go parallel to the line there. Like, if you're going to get that close to the line, you got to go in before you make your move. But he shot for the pads, knowing Donato was going to be there. JT said it on the broadcast, right? That was something preseason we were talking about that. Goalie pads, they make rebounds. Shoot for rebounds. It's okay. Have the defenseman. If you're going to take a long shot, keep it low, hard, and fast. Create that rebound. Get some chaos going in front. If you got a speedy guy like Donato who can get in there, gain position on the defenseman, and I believe it was Brent Burns even, do it. It's going to lead to a goal, and it would have had they not been offside. So I was very, very encouraged to see those things by the Kraken in this game. And yes, they were very much on display in that second period. Alex, the sous chef, cooked up a W. That's good, Alex. You're definitely the unofficial wordsmith of the post games. Hunter, bend but don't break, baby. There was a lot of bending, especially there at the end. Obviously you don't want to see the penalty by Appleton late there, because you're trying to defend this 1 goal lead, right? But in some ways it actually works out a little bit, because if they're going to have their net empty, well, now you're on the PK. You can launch it without having to worry about icing. So you can just kind of take pot shots at that empty net from far away, and it kind of frees it up to kill more time, assuming you can get possession of the puck. And that is, a big assumption when it's 6-on-4. But they handled it very well. And we got the win. Dance party streak, reading ID. It is it's so good. Greg, hey, we all give Gru some grief here. Let's toss him the roses he deserves. Amazing effort, Gru. Also, Shahan won 12 faceoffs. Kraken did really well in the faceoff circle. I don't know the exact breakdown. I could look it up right now, but it seemed like they were winning a lot. Like whenever Root would have the kind of thing over their heads as far as face-offs, it seemed like everybody was doing really well. I know Shahan for sure was. So thanks for bringing that up, Greg. Well, actually, they lost the face-off battle. Go figure. But yeah, it seemed like they were doing all right. At least in the key moments, they were getting it done, and ultimately that's what matters. But yes, Grubauer with a phenomenal performance tonight. Rebound control, unbelievable. We've known that's been one of the few things that's gone right for him so far this year, and really both goals and all the dangerous chances, the couple posts that the Sharks hit, weren't really on him either. That was, defense, puck watching. The first goal, the hurdle goal, I don't even know where the defense was. Like, you watch that and you see Wenberg and you see Gord. You don't see defenders, and then kind of Dunn comes in late, and you're just like, what's going on here? I don't know if that was a plan, because Gord, Wenberg were back there, so I don't know if that was a plan, but it didn't look great. The Vince Dunn Adam Larson pairing, it really, really rough night for them. Really rough night. They could not handle that Sharks top line at all. That certainly through that first period, anytime that line was out there, it was in the Kraken zone and they were getting chances. I don't know what was up with Larson and Dunn tonight, but they just weren't quite up to task. And then obviously later in the game, they were not sent out there to cover that line, which was the correct call from Hackstall, because they were really, really struggling there. But get back to the win stuff. Oh my gosh. Brian, what a great way to finish Davy Jones era 2-0. Yes, Davy Jones is also winning the poll for first star. It's great, and I love the way that they give him the toys to chew on for whatever team they're playing against. I just love that. It's so cute. He's just so adorable. I love it so much. Michael, Riley Sheahan has been amazing the last 2 weeks. Back check, forecheck, and faceoffs. Don't think he lost a faceoff draw the entire night. I don't think he did either, or if he did, it was very late, and probably iffy on whether or not he lost it. But yes, Riley Sheahan has been phenomenal. I think he's someone that the Kraken, they need on the team right now. I know that they're trying different stuff out, shuffling guys around as the team has gotten healthy, and it seems like, knock on wood, COVID's kind of done what it's going to do to this locker room. Sheahan has been a constant for them. He's been somebody that can lean on. He's a veteran. He's been around. He's seen and done it all, so to speak. And yes, he's been playing very, very well. It does seem like we bring him up a lot on these. Whether it's you guys, whether it's me, whether it's RJ, we bring him up a lot, and I think that says a lot about the performance he's been doing, right? It's been very, very noticeable and really good for him after the career he's had, bouncing all around. What are we, his ninth team, I think? 8th or 9th team. So, it would be cool if, just like with Donato, right? Kraken, we kind of become a forever home for some of these guys. I think that would be really fun. Ty, Gru doing what he needs to do in the net that third period. Wow. Like I said, I'm not going to say too much about it specifically, but Grubauer was phenomenal tonight. He's looked good the last couple games. Did anybody notice, was he wearing the Avs pads tonight? It's kind of hard on the broadcast for me to tell. I don't know why it's easier in person. We'll ask RJ. RJ will have noticed for sure. But he's been playing really well. It's good to see. Happy for him that it seems like the really bad stuff's at least out of the way for now. Medeiros, German gentleman's getting hot. Let's go. He is. Oh, wasn't he always hot though? Come on. Let's see. Joshua, another win. That was intense. They tried everything they could to give the game away with all those penalties. They did. Like I said, at least there's the upside on those late penalties, especially when they have the empty net, that you can just clear it and kill time that way. But it's not something you want to do on a regular basis, if not for the team's performance, just for my, cardiac setup that I've got going on. Don't need all that going on every night if we can help it. Striatic, you can't out pizza the Iron Hook. Love it, Striatic. That's a good one. Lazon tried hard to get the Sharks to tie the game at 3. It's from Schultze. There was just some weird stuff going on tonight out there defensively. I don't know what was going on for all of them. I just really don't. But it was not the defense's greatest night. Thankfully, Grubauer was up to task. He was controlling rebounds. If you notice, certainly later in the game, he was sending rebounds not even towards his defenders anymore. Like he started off doing that like normal. He wasn't. Like I think even he was kind of like, all right, maybe it's not some of these guys. That being said, Mark Giordano, toughest guy on the team, hardest fight. Like what should we say? Like he seems like the guy I would least want to fight after seeing him in that one. Just take that kid out. Incredible, incredible. Stupid that they gave him the instigator, and technically whatever, but it was a great fight. He looked phenomenal in it. Really fun to see, and yeah, because I was thinking like, okay, Susie gonna get involved here, whatever, and Giordano, nope, he's gonna do it, and he just took that guy out. Really, really fun to see. Good for him, showing he can still get it done. Michael, pretty sure that's the first breakaway Grubauer stopped all year on Meyer, nonetheless. Great night from Philip Grubauer. It might be the first breakaway he stopped. You bring up a good point there, Michael. You really do. No, but he handled it well. His angles were spot on tonight. Like there was a couple times where they had things, and you could just tell anytime a shark was walking in on him, there was no room. There, like I don't even know where you would shoot it. There just wasn't anything there. Phenomenal for him. All the dangerous chances, all the goals against, all that stuff. Right? They were all. It was all stuff that really his defense should have been there to help him out for. Whether it's taking away the pass, not letting someone just stand there completely unguarded with an empty net once the puck gets there, all that kind of stuff. I really think Grubauer put in a really, really top-notch performance tonight, despite the 2 goals. I just think, if you were to grade it, it's an A-plus performance, and it's nice to see, and it's one of those things like you'll kind of wait through the game for the other shoe to drop, and I don't know that it's going to, at least not for the next little while, and I'm really happy for him that it seems like he's got it all kind of under control again, and he's figuring it out. He looks a lot more comfortable, and that's just good to see for all of us. But I'm really just ultimately happy for him, because I know these last couple months must have been brutal internally on him. It must have been really, really rough. So very happy for him to have nights like tonight. Kraken Hawk, Susie. The dude is a grinder and got it done tonight. Oh, and of course, Davy Jones, 2-0 with Seattle's favorite new pooch. Yeah, Susie, making it hard to get Fleury back in the lineup, right? I know I've been seeing lots of free Fleury stuff on Twitter. Susie's going to play like that. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Just saying. But yes, he was phenomenal, and I liked the goals were coming from he was just shooting. Just shoot. Get guys in front and shoot. If we're going to activate the defensemen and make them part of the offense, you need to make sure you got guys in front screening. And they did tonight on both of his goals. And that's why they were goals, right? Like you look, certainly that first one when Couture was late coming in, I forget which forward it was that Couture had to go in and take out. Aiden Hill, no idea where that puck was, that it was even shot. Like just because you can't even see Aiden Hill. The camera angle they had that was kind of from behind Susie, you don't even see a goalie. You can't, because he's just so screened. I want to see that more. I want to see that all the time. But yes, it was really good. Medeiros really got to tighten up on the penalties, especially right outside the box. Penalties, yeah, and that's something. Was it the Chicago game that we talked about that, or was it the game before? But yes, it does seem like they've been taking a little bit more penalties than maybe they were earlier in the year. It's been a thing off and on, it feels like, for this team. They kind of go in waves where like they'll start taking a bunch of penalties and then everybody tightens up and everything's okay. And then everybody starts taking penalties and then everything tightens up. So, we'll see if that kind of trend continues, if that roller coaster continues. But yes, too many penalties tonight. JMG's right there with you on the next one. Great win, but too many penalties the last few games. I agree. Ethan, Davy Jones undefeated. It's just so great. So happy to have him around. So happy to get those shots of him enjoying the games there at Climate Pledge Arena. He's so adorable. It's going to be fun watching him grow up, that's for sure. Brian, 3 stars. Susie, 1. 2nd star, Giordano. 3rd star, Grubauer. Can't argue with those, Brian. I can't argue with those. All 3 of them had great games. I might swap Grubauer and Giordano. Just because there's times, Giordano did his normal, like, oh, I'm going to wait a second, and then, okay, I'll shoot. Just launch it, Gio. Just launch it. But yes, I think those are up there, and of course, boy Callie. Hunter, serious question. How does Lazon start over Fleury? He surely can't be worse than Mr. Penalty. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It also doesn't make sense as we head towards the trade deadline. I gotta think that Fleury has better trade value than Lauzon, so you'd think they'd want to get him reps, get him seen. You're playing against teams that are potential trade partners. I know you don't really want to trade with the Sharks because they're in division, but every game is at this point when the playoffs are out of the picture. These can be auditions for guys for the trade deadline. So if you got somebody like Fleury that we know has trade value, again, he was part of one of the bigger deals last trade deadline. We know he has trade value. Get him out there. Let teams see him. Let you use him against them. Let them see him firsthand. If he has a good game, they're gonna go, hey, that guy, he's pretty good. He gave us a lot of trouble. We'd like to have that down the stretch in our playoff run. I don't think Lauzon's doing that. I don't think that he has as much value as Fleury. So I don't get it. I'd probably, Borgen's been kind of iffy. Susie until this game really for me had been really up and down, but I think Fleury's got to get into the lineup as we get closer to the trade deadline. I just think that's something that has to happen. Hunter. Striatic, German gentleman called out on Root Sports. Gord called the Pepper Pot. Yeah, that was interesting. Susie called Spicy. They're all in on the nicknames on the broadcast. Forsland likes himself some nicknames. That is for sure. And he's not afraid to try them and throw them out there. It makes for a very enjoyable broadcast, especially because I'll be really into the game, watching it, trying to figure out what's going on, whatever. And then you just hear one of those things and it just kind of snaps you right, I don't want to say out of it, but it snaps you into what he's talking about. It's really interesting, and I'm sure he does that for everybody, right? It's a good way of getting people to listen to you and listen to the broadcast. It's fun. Kraken Hawk, just like we own the Niners this season, the Kraken so far have owned the Sharks. Seattle over Bay Area. I was thinking about that too, Kraken Hawk. Definitely thinking about that. Kraken over Sharks. It's bottom line. Unless there's going to be 9 Sharks. Kraken's got an arm to take out, up to 8 of them. So, it's just, that's it. Battle of the Sea. We won. We just win it. It's over. It's over, right? Ty, old Captain Geo, dropped the cap for a dance, old school mode, and beating some, what. Yes, he was, Ty. It was a good fight. Good fight. Let's see. Darrow Stratic, awesome. Forsland is a fan of the German gentleman agenda. Yes, he is. Krakenhawk, indeed. Old man Geo with the haymakers tonight. Let's go. I'm telling you, that fight, it was a good fight. He just went after him, and he just nailed him. I was at the Avalanche Ducks game last night, and there was the longest fight I'd ever seen took place in that game, to the point where the refs just ended it because the guys were so winded they almost couldn't keep going, although they were trying to. It lasted over a minute. It was kind of crazy, very old school fight. So it was kind of fun tonight to see, and there wasn't really a conclusion. It was fun for Gio to give a conclusion and a definitive one. Very happy for that. Good for Gio. Let's see. Giordano up in his value winning a fight. That's from Jared. For sure. I got to think that helps. Shows he still got something. Stratic with the stream. 53 people in here, only 25 likes. It's less than halfway. We could definitely do better than that. Sergeant Pickles, haven't made it home to watch the game yet, but I couldn't miss the chance to be part of back-to-back Emerald City dance parties. Do I even want to look at the schedule and see how long it's been? Do we really? It's been a very, 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 very long time. Looking at the schedule, we got to go back to the Florida game on the 27th and the Buffalo game on the 29th. That's how long it's been since we've had back-to-back wins. And that's of November, by the way, the 27th and 29th of November. So it has been a while. Thanks for stopping by, though, Sergeant Pickles. Always great to have you, but it's been a while. It feels good. Absurdly saying my throat hurts from all the happy screaming. Yeah, I feel ya. It's just so nice to be back on top, right? Have a win streak. Cracking me up. Love the way they were using their sticks in the passing lanes. They did that a lot, especially the forwards. So I talked about on the first one, the first hurdle goal, right? Where were the defensemen? Well, you did have Gord and Wenberg back there, and the forwards were very active. All the forwards tonight were very active in the defensive zone, using their sticks, trying to break up passes, trying to shot block with them, right, deflect them away, all that kind of stuff. Not used to seeing that from the Kraken. And so but I think all of these little things add up, right? Forwards starting to screen the goalie more. You got Appleton shooting for a rebound, even though the goal gets called off. You got the forwards back checking more, helping out the defense on a night that they just didn't quite have it. Grubauer, making sure he's got his rebound game under control. All those like little things add up, and they equal a win. And the Kraken were really struggling to do that, through most of this year. They just it hasn't all come together. They've had a piece here, a piece there, but to have so much of that happen tonight, we saw the result, and it's a win. And unfortunately, in the NHL, as in most professional sports, you have to be on it more than you're off to come out ahead. It's just the way it is, and you got to work hard for these things too. You got to be willing to sacrifice your body to go stand in front of that goalie and screen him. But it pays off with a couple goals tonight. So it's one of those things, and I think that having that effort pay off, getting back-to-back wins like this, especially at home, I think it's going to make it easier and easier for this team to keep doing those things and for it to become more and more habit, because you're seeing that payoff. It's a lot harder in a 7-game losing streak to be like, yes, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to sacrifice my body on plays where it really might not matter, but just because it's like the right thing to do. It's hard to do that. But now, as you're winning, feeling good, body doesn't hurt as much, after the game, I think we're going to start seeing this stuff more and more, and I think it's going to result in a lot more wins. Again, I think it would be great if we can go 500 the rest of the season, and I think that's definitely on the table. The team plays the way they've played these last couple games, it's for sure on the table, and I think that'll be really, really good for everybody entering the offseason. Striatic, Gio is trying to win his team the best draft picks possible, getting in scraps, blocking shots in the dying rounds. Our captain is determined to land his team a first rounder. I agree, Striatic. I don't know that that's really why he's doing it, but that might be the end result, and I will take it. Ethan, Chaos Ball. Four Horsemen, disallowed Donato goals. No bueno. I know. It would have been fun to have Donato get another one, but it was the right call, unfortunately. That being said, I love that play. I want to see that play happen more. Please, please, please find a way to make that play happen more. Shoot for the pads. Get those big, juicy rebounds. And guys like Donato that love to drive the net, he's going to be there. Calle Yarncroke's going to be there. Oh, it's going to be good. If they could start doing that, it's going to be good. Ferris, happy days. Shahan was awesome on the kills and face-off. Got to give credit to that man. Every chance we get, we will. Four Horsemen, best place to buy hockey gear in Seattle. Becoming a ref, need helmet and such. That's going to be a question for RJ and then everybody else in chat that can help you out there. Let's see. But good for you. Good for you. Michael, what in the world was Lauzon doing in the third? Dude, stop taking bad penalties. It's what he does. You gotta love him for who he is, I guess. SJ, did Lauzon just penalty himself out of the lineup for a few games? It is possible. We'll find out tomorrow night. Hextall all year long has been, especially with the defense, because they have the 8 options, or at right now 7 because of Alexiak. He's been swapping guys, in those back-to-back games. So my guess is yes, Lauzon might have played himself out of the lineup at least for tomorrow, and I really, really hope we get to see Fleury tomorrow night, and because I think he can come out and be aggressive and make some things happen after being out of the lineup for so long. Cameron, that Susie / penalty was odd. Seems so long after it happened. I'm trying to remember that one because I did have a thought about that. Ooh, what was it? I should have written it down. This is on me. I'll see if it comes to me later. But yeah, I mean, I've noticed a couple, not just in this game and not just in Kraken games, but some other games I've watched too. Slashing's kind of been weird lately. Has anybody else noticed that? It's it'll be like I'll see like 4 games where there are a bunch of slashes, and you're like, okay, and then you go like 20 games and there's no slashing penalties that are called, even though there are, of course, every game there's multiple times you could probably call it. Um, I don't know. It's I don't know if that's something that the league has been kind of sending down to the refs, like with cross checking and interference. I've seen more interference calls this year than I have my whole life combined. I think, pretty wild. Cracking me up 2-0 in the Davy Jones era. We are undefeated. This is why you need Team Dog. More important than anything. Should have had this back at the beginning of the year. Um, Kraken Hawk. I really like Hill's awesome mask with microchips ingrained in the Sharks logo. Goalie masks are truly works of art. I'm curious to know which Kraken mask is your favorite. I like the Drieger mask the best. Um, I just like all the stuff he's kind of got going on there. Love the Hap Holmes. Um, but we'll remind me, and we'll ask RJ when he comes on for his favorite. Want to give credit to Shahan and Donato on the first goal. Donato made a great play in transition, and Shahan set the perfect screen. Every Kraken on the ice contributed greatly on that first goal. It's true. I mean, it's a team effort. I know. Thank you for reminding me that it was Shahan with the screen that got Couture over there. It's the way it is. That's what I'm saying. It all adds up. It takes that everybody giving all effort kind of thing. And I think we're at the point of the year where they've spent enough time playing and practicing with each other. The synergy is more and more there. Even as the lines are getting shuffled, we're seeing that guys can have continuous chemistry with each other, continuous awareness with each other. We're seeing that more and more. Certainly, of the people who are really fixed into the lineup, we're seeing that become something. And it's yeah, like I said earlier, this just feels like the team we kind of thought we were going to see. It wasn't going to be a team that was going to blow anybody out, but it was going to be a team that was going to win these kind of grinded out performances like tonight, where they're going to get just enough goals. They're gonna generate just enough chances to get just enough goals to get it done. They'll lean on their goalie to help them out at the other end of the ice, and they're just gonna grind out these 1 goal games. And that's what certainly me and RJ predicted was going to be the case at the beginning of the year. And I think it's unfortunate that it took 38 games to get here, 39 tonight. But I think it's a really, really good sign moving forward is that we are seeing the fruits of their labor. We're seeing the players buy into the system. We're seeing the players, building chemistry with each other, knowing where each other's are on the ice. I'm really, really happy to see it because, even if they had, like, let's say, lost tonight or something, it would have felt like it was okay, right? It wasn't like some of those games through some of these losing streaks that we've had where you just don't even feel like you have a shot, right? Once that goal goes in the first 38 seconds, you're just like, all right, here we go. I don't even need to watch this game. It's over, right? There have been times some of you have been in the chat saying that, right? Like, oh, I turned it off after whatever. And thank you for still joining the chat during those nights. It's greatly appreciated. But that doesn't feel like the case anymore. If they're going to play like this, that's not going to feel like the case anymore. It's going to feel like they always have a chance to win. They're always going to be competitive. We're going to believe in it. We're going to feel good about watching the team. You know what I mean? Like when they're doing this stuff, it makes it for a fun experience just as a fan to watch it. It's good hockey. It's fun hockey. It's fun to watch hockey. And I think that was missing earlier in the year. And I think that the Kraken have found it now. And so now the question is, how long can they sustain it, and how long are we going to have it? Because I would like to have it for a while, if that is possible at all. All right, RJ is with us, which means post game stuff went by pretty quick tonight. So one moment, I'll get up everybody's favorite screen, and we'll get RJ in here. All right, RJ. Back-to-back wins.
Yes, 2 in a row. Let's keep it going.
First time since the end of November.
Yep, since Thanksgiving.
I know. And, pretty definitive. We own the Seas.
Yep, for sure. For sure. Swept the Sharks right out of there.
Yeah. Before we get into the game, just because it's still here on my screen, Krakenok had a question about our favorite goalie masks from the Kraken. I already gave my
Ooh,
answer. You
okay.
want to give yours?
Yeah, my favorite is probably Chris Drieger's most recent one, where he's got Hap Holmes on the side of it. The Seattle Metropolitans going. I have a feeling you probably gave the same answer.
Yep, exact same answer. Yeah, it's a fun mask. All right, so I was just kind of finishing up a little talk about how the team has played enough games now where it feels like they have synergy with each other now, even when the lines are kind of shuffled up a little bit. We're seeing that chemistry. We're seeing the team play the games we thought we'd see back at the beginning of the year, kind of gutted out, grinded out performances, lean on goaltending, get, kind of gritty net front and create your chances, capitalize on those chances. Saw that tonight. I mean, we could argue about maybe why it took so long to get to that point, but I just think it's fantastic that we're finally there.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing the type of hockey that we had hoped to see going into this season and the kind of identity the team was building. I mean, yeah, it took a while to get there, but it's also just kind of fun to watch too.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have that fear, that nervousness of, oh, they just took a third penalty in a row. We're for sure getting scored on, because you have the goaltending that can
Mm-hmm.
back you up on plays like that, because you can kind of buckle down, have that defensive structure, especially on the penalty kill that they relied on so much in the third period. It's just so fun to watch, and we've seen it 2 games in a row, and back at it tomorrow. Let's hope they can keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I think because they're getting rewarded with the wins, I don't think that there's going to be a reason that they're going to stop doing the things that are making these wins happen. You know what I mean? I know
Right.
that was a little bit of word vomit, but you know what I mean.
No, I mean that makes sense, and I think that's a good sign for them, and especially today, that because I don't know about you, but I thought their first period was just terrible. I thought they had an awful first
Oh yeah.
period, and Hackstall and the players, kind of echoed that sentiment. Um, and I mean, just the defensive breakdowns, what
Mm-hmm.
we saw from those, like, just leaving guys wide open in front of the net. But you had Grubauer there,
Mm-hmm.
bailing them out in a lot of those cases, and you had guys. I don't know what exactly it was, because he did kind of probe on this. It said, like, hey, what was it that changed? And I thought it was interesting that both Donato and Susie said, like, hey, not a whole lot was said in the intermission. We all just kind of realized this is unacceptable. We can't keep playing like this, which again still confused me, because, like, well, haven't you had a bunch of moments like that this season, and you
Yeah.
just haven't played well afterward? But I didn't want to just go ahead and ask that, like, well, hang on. But yeah, so couldn't really get a solid answer as to what exactly happened. But hey, they took pride in their game.
Mm-hmm.
They said, hey, we're better than this, and they just took ownership of it and got better.
Yeah. No, that is interesting to hear.
Like,
Uh,
how do you ask about,
I
like,
know. I
okay, but
know.
like, but really?
Yeah. Okay, but what was different this time? Yeah, no, that was good. Stratic, even though Donato and Shahan didn't get points on the score sheet, yeah, referencing that first goal, the kind of team effort
Mm-hmm.
that played in to equal that. You could not see from one of those camera angles. You couldn't even see Hill, like the screen,
No.
because of Couture flying in so late there. Like, oh, I just want to see that
Yep.
more.
I know. Shane in the perfect spot.
Mm-hmm. Carrot Coffee Productions. Ooh, like the name. I'd like to see
Yeah.
Grubauer having back-to-back solid performances. Gives me hope for the future. I know I've been careful about my words. Goalies are superstitious. I'm gonna be superstitious alongside, but 2 really good performances from Grubauer.
Yep. It's a good sign. And I will say, though, just quickly on goaltending, Hackstall did say we're probably going to get Joey Decord tomorrow night.
Okay, well that makes sense. Back-to-back
It
nights
does
now.
make sense, but Drieger's eligible to come off protocol. There's all that, so
Yeah, and
good to get
everybody.
some clarity.
Yes, and everybody here let me know that he had the Avs pads. It's hard for me on the TV broadcast. You never get like a good shot to see anything. Um,
No, it's tough, and yeah, because I've been doing the whole Grubauer Pad
mhm.
Watch 2022. It's the abs pads until further notice. I'll let you know when it's
All
something
right.
else.
All right. Sounds good. Kraken Hawk, how do you think Kuhlman performed in his first game on the team? His former college teammates seemed to do well with him in the lineup. Carson Soucy very much so, yes.
Yeah, no, he definitely added to the Carson power the Kraken had tonight. He didn't play a whole lot, so I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really notice him a ton. On the penalty kill is probably where he made his biggest impact. He had a few times, rushing down to go get pucks too that were cleared. You could see the speed kind of shown off there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think just kind of a breaking it in type of game for him.
I agree with that. I thought the PK all around was really good tonight. They needed it too. A
Yep.
lot of penalties. But yes, I think the speed is kind of the difference that we're going to see from him versus maybe a Max McCormick or an Alex True down there in the
Yep.
lineup. And I think that we started to see that tonight. And I kind of like that as a not necessarily a straight up upgrade, but I'll call it as like a different thing to use, a different tool to
Right.
have in there. Lindsay, a little late, but I'm here. Kraken remain undefeated in the Davy Jones era. It is true. I've got the poll question up, RJ, of first star, and that's Soucy, Grubauer, or the undefeated Davy Jones. Undefeated Davy Jones
I.
is leading right now with
Yep.
49%.
Can't argue with that.
Mm-mm. Let's see. Reading ID was literally watching the last 7 seconds, hiding behind my hands, horror movie style, lol. But no one died. I know. I was talking earlier about like, how great is it that we can be like that tense again, right? Because it means we have a lead late.
Exactly. Yep.
It's been a
It's
long,
it's
long
a good
time.
feeling.
Mm-hmm. Grizz Smash. Some of the penalties had me staring at the ceiling sometimes. Jeez. Yeah. I mean, what do you think it was tonight, RJ?
Uh, I, I I don't know. I think probably a little bit of nervousness with the lead in the third period, just some kind of jitters there, trying to do everything you can to avoid allowing a scoring chance,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes doing a little too much. I mean, that last one was garbage, but like the other
Yeah.
ones, I think that was the case.
I was shocked that they called that last one. Like, you don't see refs call stuff like that late in a game.
No, and I thought if anything, we were going to see a dive called in addition to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would
But
have been something to do. That being said, I did bring up in some ways it's okay because then you can just kind of launch it down the ice without having to worry about the icing in that
yeah,
scenario.
with the empty
So
net, it adds another dimension there. Yeah.
yeah, so it's not the worst thing in the world. There's something good that can come out of it, but boy, it was interesting to see that called. Two Emerald City dance parties in a row. RJ, what's going on?
I can't believe it, but I am happy. I'm not arguing.
I think we're gonna see even more coming up. Maybe not tomorrow night, but certainly coming up. Stratic, Gio's got that old man strength. How about that performance from Gio, RJ?
Yes, fantastic performance, his best in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and just the determination on his face. Like you could see it. Well, one in that fight, if you look close up, just when he had those eyes going at
Mm-hmm.
him. And it's funny because Susie was going to step in and fight,
Yeah.
and fight Raska for him. And then Gio's like, no, 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 let me at him. So that was cool to see. And then that shot block at the end,
Mm-hmm.
huge, huge moment in the game. Grubauer immediately goes right over to him, gives him a big tap on the back. That's the kind of stuff you love to see.
Yeah, he's been playing really, really well. Really since he got
Yep.
back from COVID. He's been playing really, really well that whole time. Really good to
Yep.
see. Um,
Oh, you know what? Sorry, that reminds me. I want to tell a quick story that
mhm.
Hackstall talked about in the in the post game presser. So he was saying it's funny that Susie got a couple goals in this game because they were joking this morning about how Giordano actually has the record for the longest time in between 2 goal games. I think it's like 9 years and 9 months or something like that. And then of course the guy in the stall right next to him, Susie, that night gets a 2 goal game.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to come close to that. That
This is
doesn't
the
sound
kind of
like
great
fun.
stories you get when they're winning.
I know. I know. We don't get that otherwise. Ugh. Yes, no, fun. Good stuff there. Alex, that last penalty was one of the worst dives I've ever seen. Echoing your sentiments there, RJ. It was bad. You don't go down from a slash on your hands like that. You just don't. Paul of the Geo fight. Brian, Giordano didn't deserve 2 minutes for instigator. I can see 2 minutes for being the only man in the fight. I thought it was kind of a little bit of a BS call to give him the 2 minutes. Like, it's one of those, like, technically I can see it, but, like, read the
Yeah.
room.
Well, it was Susie that got the extra 2, though.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Geo.
Yeah. No,
I
it
didn't
was
have
Susie.
audio on, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Daros, did the shootout help Grubauer with the breakaway? He's getting more confident for sure. Yeah, he stopped the breakaway tonight.
He did, and it was a huge save at that point in the game. I mean, the Kraken basically it turned on a dime at that point. They came back and scored one that didn't count, then scored one that did count. But really, that was kind of the big turning point. And I mean, geez, I got to talk about this. What a play by Erik Karlsson. That was some vintage Erik Karlsson stuff to get that pass out. I mean, we just all gasped up at the press box, like, wow.
He looked good tonight. I was kind of surprised.
He did. He
Maybe,
did.
yeah, I don't know if he's playing for a trade out of town or what, but he looked very, very good tonight. I will go back to the thing. I think it's BS that they gave the penalty then to Susie, because Susie was like actively trying to avoid doing anything.
Right. Well, they gave it. It was for cross-checking. So I didn't look back and see where exactly the cross-check was.
All right. Lol, they gave Davey a shark toy to chew on after the game. Love it. It's from Ty. I think he was during the game too, and they were doing pictures, I think, beforehand.
Yeah,
Right?
they
Yeah.
were. They were. Yep.
I want that to be a regular thing. We were talking about it where I'm at, and we were like, does he get like a saxophone toy for tomorrow? Like that'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be great. Yep.
Let's do it. Let's all come together. Even if they're not gonna do it, we're gonna send toys to Davey to make this happen.
Yep.
Alex Susie heard my praise and responded with a big game. It did, Alex. Did. What's a pepper pot? That's from Grizza Smash. Yes, Yanni Gord was called the Pepper Pot by John Forsland tonight. Forsland was all over the place with nicknames tonight.
Interesting.
I was going to say, is that something from, being around the team that we need to know about?
Yeah, I do not know the backstory behind that one.
It was
I
during,
can ask John about it.
I
mean,
it was during a scrum along the boards that Gord was involved in. So I don't know if he meant the scrum at the boards or Yanni himself, but yeah, it was.
hey, first things first. Do we know what a pepper pot is, real quick? Because I don't.
No, a pot that you
All
keep
right,
peppers in, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Help us out, chat.
Yeah. JMG, another solid game for Donato. How do you think Coolman played? Well, we just talked about him. I loved and I know it was called off, but I loved the, Appleton shoot at the pads, get the big juicy rebound, Donato finish it off. Like, how many? Been asking for that for months, guys. Come on.
Yep. That's exactly what we wanted to see.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Rookies often test the vets. You should see why they try Ovi. Lol. It's from Ty. Or Chara. Yes.
Yep.
Gio was all business in that scrap. Jagar couldn't watch the game since I had a game of my own. How did we do overall? I think we played very, very well, Jagar. How did you do? That's the real question.
Yep. Let us know how you did.
Yeah, the second period, go watch it, Jagar. It's from Ty. Second period was that was vintage Kraken hockey, that second period.
I know. It had everything. Goals, a disallowed goal, fights, huge saves, breakaways, everything you can imagine in a period of hockey.
Yeah, but it just remember back when the second period was the only period the Kraken could do anything? It felt like that after that terrible first period, and it was like, all right, we got this great second period. What's going to happen now in the third? But glad for the little bit of reversal there at the end. Let's see. Driegers is sick with the Metropolitans callback, talking about the helmets there.
Yeah.
Was holding my breath for a Susie hat trick. That's from Valentina. I was too. The penalty late though got in the way.
Yep.
That's really the biggest bummer about that. JMG Oilers shut out tonight. Tip it on the hot seat. I gotta think he is. I mean, we talked about this last week.
They are so desperate. If they're desperate enough to bring in Evander Kane, they're desperate enough to make a coaching shakeup.
Yeah, 6-0 Florida. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oilers got a team dog earlier in the season. Interestingly, it's sort of timed with their downfall.
It's working for us.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna shed any tears for him. That's for sure. Let's see. Davy Jones was the thing the locker room needed to stay loose. That's from Cracking Me Up. It could definitely be the case.
Yeah, you know what? You saw them interacting with him. They were definitely keeping very loose.
Yes, for sure. And then Brian coming through with the super chat. 38 seconds in, and we were down 1-0. Instead of worry, I thought we were simply going to deliver. The difference? These boys have nearly played 50% of the season together. Chemistry and grit everywhere. I agree.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, we were talking about like what was that kind of special something? What was different this time? I think you may have hit on it. It's just the chemistry together, the grit. It might just all be coming together. And thanks again for the super chat, Brian.
Yes, of course, Brian. Thank you so much for the super chat. But I think that's it. I think they've they've got some chemistry now. They've got some experience with each other. They know how each other likes to play, where they like to be, all that kind of stuff. They've gotten used to the system and the new system and then the system after that. Like they've got it coming on. It's very very much it feels like it's all coming together. Love it. Let's see. They actually played really well, greatly outshot Florida, but still lost 6-0. Again, I'm not going to cry about the Oilers. Alex, RJ, did anyone accuse anyone of being pissy? I mean, it probably not in a winning locker room.
Nope, not today. Yeah, no, I think someone in there, like as we were waiting for the players to come, was like, all right, would you rather be, in this dressing room, the Flyers or the Oilers right now? And we're all just like, this one.
This one, for sure.
Everyone who could hear it, just like, this one. So, yeah, for sure. Nowhere near that level.
It's good. That's good. Lindsay, our team dog took all the good luck mojo. No other team dog can compare. I agree with that. Nobody can compare to Davy Jones. Look at it. Look at his sweet little face. We still need an RJ loading psyched song for a win. We can make that happen probably. Striatic, I was thinking about this, and I'm so happy the personalities in the Kraken media scrum, like RJ, are so much more constructive and positive than those who have followed the Oilers around for ages.
Yeah, no, there's no way I'm saying anything like that to a Kraken player. It's just not helpful. And yeah, I think we all do, even when times are tough, try and kind of look at, all right, how can we be constructive about this and look toward, fixing things rather than just getting down on everyone.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, whether it's in post games or during the podcast, right? Like, it's hard, but everybody at the end of the day knows what each other's job is. You know what the player's job is. They understand your job as a media member. Like, you've got to ask certain questions at certain times when things are bad, whatever. But as long as you don't go after the guy ridiculously after he had already answered your question twice, basically.
Yeah.
Wild situation. Valentina, Decord was all about Gru after the game. Huge grin, many butt slaps, love the camaraderie. And then Valentina also chiming in, pepper pot is a thing old people say. It means feisty. And Absurdly Sane said pepper pot is a spicy stew. And Daryl with pepper pot is a type of soup I believe originated from Philly, kind of your grandma's era soup. So Forsland,
interesting.
Bringing out the old stuff tonight, the vintage sayings, I guess.
Love it.
I don't know if you want to take this information to him and call him old per se, but that's
yeah. Forsland, none of our younger viewers, the YouTube video crowd, they didn't understand what that was. I think that's a little before their time.
Yeah, for sure.
It's what you should know.
Just yeah. But I was, I did say it earlier, like it was something that really kind of snapped you out of it and made you listen to him. So if that was his intention, great job. Hats off to him, because it definitely got all of our attention. That's for sure. Medeiros, crazy that literally all our press people are so awesome. The Kraken community just put out great vibes. It's hard to argue with that.
It's true. Yeah. And I could say being around everyone every day, like they're all great.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's see. Cameron, what did they say to the Oilers player? I'm trying to remember exactly, but he just kept pressuring Draisaitl about, what are you going to do to break out of this slump or whatever?
Yeah, it started with, is there one thing that you think you can like do the best, like that'll fix everything? He's like, nope.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
They were ridiculous questions. They were absolutely ridiculous.
And he's given cues all over the place, like, stop pushing here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it flew right through him and ignored it.
Yeah, he was giving him the outs and he was not going to take them. Brian from the top rope, Sergeant Pickles. Medeiros, JT was apparently confused about the Cali with the tally that Forsland said, which was funny. I liked that one. I liked that one.
Yeah, that's a great call.
I'm telling you, if you just go back and listen to the highlights, like on the NHL app or something, you'll hear some fun stuff from Forsland.
Okay, I need to do that.
It was
I need to do that.
very creative. So I guess the win was good for him too, just kind of
Yeah.
jazzing everybody up. Um, let's see. Absurdly saying, I didn't catch the pepper pot comment. Was it around the time that JT talked about his phone's autocorrect changing sushi to spicy? I'm telling you, it was good the times I had the sound on.
Wow, what a shame I had to miss that beat in the press box. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got to scoot over to be more towards center ice, like right in front of them where I can hear them.
Yeah. It was some fun ones, that's for sure. And Lindsay, giant squid hugs all around. Love the ECH community and Kraken fans everywhere. Right back at you and everybody, Lindsay. And yes, as long as we have no pissy pepper pots, we'll be good. That's from Daryl. Love it. All right. We'll do a last call for questions. Chat's really slowed down here at the end. But otherwise, I mean, it's just good to be playing this kind of hockey, RJ.
Yeah, absolutely love to see it, and it's just fun, being at the game and the atmosphere, and the fans are super into it. I mean, you can really kind of feel the excitement when they have hope, like, hey, this is going to turn out differently than the losing streaks that we've seen. And I think they really had that kind of from the start tonight. That first goal early was tough, but as soon as they started bouncing back in the second, everyone was super into it, and it was just great atmosphere. Great to be here. And I will say there were a lot of Sharks fans too, so they're kind of battling it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you've run into lots of people that were Sharks fans up there. Yeah, interesting. Sergeant Pickles probably not going to be able to watch in full until tomorrow, but glad to be here and got to get to bed. Cheers, everybody. Good night, Sergeant Pickles. And Stratic Forsland was on a roll tonight. Really good call. Pepper Pot was first, but apparently this spicy autocorrect was pregame. Okay. JMG Dylan, which broadcast you're watching? Keep it going for the good luck. Yeah, I've been watching the Root broadcasts. I didn't switch back over. That being said, I did watch the first bit until the first commercial break on the Sharks one because the Root broadcast just was not coming on ESPN. Like just game starting and it's just still not there for whatever reason. I still don't know what that's about. Next time I'm up there, RJ, I'm gonna ask all the Root people I can about why Root is the only one that doesn't have like their pregame really as part of it. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
It is kind of weird. I don't know if that's an ESPN thing or a Root thing. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it eventually, though. Brian, special thanks to RJ and Dylan. Love this inclusive community you've built. Yes, and thank you so much, Brian, for being a big part of it. Ty, I'll be an SJ for the next one. Ooh, that's gonna be fun, Ty. Pepper Pot was after the fight, I believe, from Reading ID. Great call. Get some rest on the back-to-back. That's from Stratic. We will. Ty, could be a fun rivalry brewing here. I mean, is it really a rivalry if we're just going to beat them every time?
That's the thing. For it to be a rivalry, you need both sides chipping in. But hey, if the Sharks can manage to get one, maybe we'll have something going.
For sure. Lindsay, night all. See you tomorrow for hopefully another Kraken win or at least a good team effort. I concur. And then Daryl, thanks all. Way more fun lately. I agree, Daryl.
I wonder why.
I don't know. But yes, we'll be right back at it tomorrow night after that game against the Blues. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Played him well last time, I thought. So, should be fun. All right, everybody, have a good night, and we'll see y'all back here tomorrow.